Hi again, everyone. I'm Two Works for You, Storm Shield Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony, and it's time for this edition of Weather Wise. And in this edition of Weather Wise, we're going to cover the autumn forecast. I've been getting some requests on Facebook for the autumn forecast, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Really, it's going to be based on a couple of things: the already cycling weather pattern and the transition from El Nino to La Nina. We no longer have an official La Nina watch, and that is because the ocean waters have not cooled as fast as what was expected. Right now, they're about 0.3 of a degree Celsius below average. And so that means we are in what's called a neutral phase. We're somewhere between El Nino and La Nina. This is very similar to 1983 and 2012. So a lot of my fall weather forecast will be based on the climatology from those 2 years. We do have a 50 to 60% chance of this neutral phase eventually becoming La Nina by winter. So here are my fall forecast highlights. I think October's going to have some big temperature swings, very warm, very cool snaps, and because of that, we could have 1 or 2, maybe 3 severe setups throughout the month. And it also looks like, based on climatology, in November, it will be a very warm Thanksgiving. So let's talk about one of those potential setups for severe weather. We have a ridge that builds in here early October. We'll likely have above average temperatures sometime during the Tulsa State Fair. Then this storm system out here in the west will move in. We get a little stronger energized jet stream into October, and so maybe around the 4th, 5th, or 6th of October we could have some thunderstorms, and maybe a few of those could turn severe. And then later on in the month, and I think toward the end of the month, of course, that would happen again. All right, so here's the 2016 autumn forecast. October, because of these big temperature swings, I think they'll even themselves out and we'll have near average temperatures. However, with the frequency of the storms moving through not being that great, I think we'll end up below average in the rainfall. November, certainly, based on climatology, it looks like it's going to be warmer than average, and the November precipitation, because of the warm, dry days, will probably end up below average. What about our fall color? Woo, it'll leave someone down. Well, guess what? We really need to get these cool, crisp October nights to get in here and get going to really activate those sugars in the leaves. We get some rainfall. That will also help because the trees won't drop the leaves quickly to protect themselves. And of course, in Oklahoma, our fall season peaks in late October and early November. So we still have some time to get a pretty decent fall color season going here, and I think that will happen. So what about the LRC? It's the Leasac recurring cycle theory. It's the pattern theory that suggests that a new pattern will develop between October 1st and mid-November. So the coming month and a half, very important for us because that's where we will determine our winter weather forecast, and we will issue that in mid-November. So that's it for this edition of Weather Wise. If you want to ask me a question on Facebook, I'm there. Twitter, the Brett Anthony. So drop me a line, brett.anthony@kjrh.com if you have any questions about the fall forecast. Have a great weekend, and watch for the acorn theory forecast coming up next week.